You know, if we're being honest, most people almost never truly live their lives, and I'm not talking about work responsibilities or lack of time. I'm talking about something deeper. The fact that people constantly live mentally somewhere ahead of themselves, as if real life hasn't started yet. And if you look closely, this happens to almost everyone. A person wakes up in the morning and immediately runs into the future mentally. What needs to be done, what might happen, what comes next, how everything will turn out, what they need to achieve. And even though the body is here, inside, the person keeps living in later. And the most dangerous part is that eventually this starts feeling normal. People stop noticing that life is passing by. Look, many people live with the inner feeling, just a little more, and then I'll finally start living. When they have more money, when this difficult period ends, when success arrives, when the relationship appears, when they feel more confident, when life finally becomes perfect. But the problem is that later keeps moving. A person reaches one goal, and the mind immediately moves happiness further away. Just a little more, one more step, one more achievement. And in the end, a person can spend their entire life preparing to live, without ever truly beginning. Now let's go deeper. Why does the mind escape into the future? First reason, the present moment feels not enough. Many people unconsciously believe, right now is not good enough. Not enough money, not enough success, not enough happiness, not enough beauty, not enough fulfillment. And so the mind creates the illusion that happiness exists somewhere ahead. But the problem is, people stop seeing the value of what already exists now. Second reason, the future creates the illusion of control. This is a very subtle mechanism. When a person constantly thinks about the future, it feels like they are controlling life, planning, preparing, predicting. But often, there is anxiety underneath all of it, because the mind is trying to avoid uncertainty. And so, people become trapped in endless inner tension. Third reason, people are afraid to stop, because if they stop, they may finally meet themselves, their emotions, their emptiness, their exhaustion, their loneliness, the questions they've been avoiding for years. And so many people keep their attention fixed on the future, just to avoid feeling the present. Now the most important part, the future never becomes a true way of living. Here's why. When that imagined future finally arrives, it instantly becomes the present moment. But a person who learned to live only in later doesn't know how to be here, so the mind escapes forward again. This is why many people, even after achieving their goals, still feel empty. Because the real problem was never the goals. It was the inability to truly be present in life. Now let's make this practical. What can you do? First, start noticing how often you postpone life. This alone is huge. Throughout the day, ask yourself, am I living right now, or just preparing to live? And you'll be surprised how often the mind is constantly rushing ahead. Second, stop making happiness conditional. Many people live like this. I'll be happy when. And then comes a long list of conditions. But happiness attached to the future almost always remains unreachable because the mind gets used to moving it further away. Third, bring your attention back into the present moment, not theoretically. Literally. What do you see right now? What do you hear? What do you feel? What does the air around you feel like? How does your body feel? It sounds simple, but this is how people return to their actual lives. Allow the present moment to be valuable. This is very deep, because many people unconsciously devalue ordinary moments. They think life is only about big events, but in reality, life is almost entirely made of ordinary moments. And if a person cannot feel them, they slowly lose life itself. Fifth, stop living in constant waiting mode. It exhausts the nervous system when people constantly wait for better timing, a better version of themselves, better conditions, they emotionally disappear from their own lives, and this creates emptiness. Now, the most important part. Imagine someone who spends their entire life mentally living in the future, and one day they realize they missed countless moments. They didn't feel them, didn't notice them, didn't live them, because internally, they were always rushing somewhere else. This is incredibly common, but when a person slowly begins returning to the present, something amazing happens. Life begins feeling alive again. There is more calm, more clarity, more real happiness. Not because life became perfect, but because the person finally became present in their own life. And this is where real inner transformation begins. Because happiness was never somewhere ahead. It was only ever available here, now. If you feel a little quieter inside right now, write in the comments, "I'm stopping the habit of postponing life." That matters. This is how people begin returning to themselves, and make sure to subscribe, because we'll continue exploring deeper mechanisms of happiness, attention, anxiety, and inner freedom. And yes, watch this video again, not just as information, but as an opportunity to notice where your life actually is right now, because maybe it has been waiting for you here all along. And remember, anything is possible.